images and get them aligned.
Just make sure, if you're going to do it before the images are merged together, then if you do it before then, just make sure you have the exact same settings. If you do it after you've done the merging, then you just want to just apply it like you would any other file. Once it's in Photoshop, it should have the same settings available as any other picture. So, it's, yeah. Yeah, which one? Digital Mastery? Nice. Love it. You guys haven't taken down Facebook or Flickr yet, have you? No, that'd be a little more difficult.
Not yet.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, or should we move on?
Well, we had a ton of questions. Do you mind answering a couple more?
Let's just do one more.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Animus at 1 asks, can this be used for star trails, multiple exposures?
The problem with star trails is better to do what's known as stacking. And stacking is when you're just going to take a series of exposures of the same length. Let's say they're 2-minute exposures or something, so that they're short enough that you don't get too much noise in your shot, because the longer your exposure is, the more noise you have. And then right after that shot is done, you take immediately another shot, and immediately another shot, and immediately another shot, so that your star trails are just like little dashes. And then you want to combine those together, but you don't do it with HDR. Usually you do it with Photoshop, and if you're going to do that, visit a website. Let's see if you can shut him down. RussellBrown.com. That's RUSSELL Brown.com. He has some scripts that you add to Photoshop that makes that process easier. You would select the exposures, and then through Russell Brown's scripts, it would automatically stack the images and would automatically set those images to lighten mode, which would allow all the little dashes that are in the separate exposures to combine together and look like one continuous line. I think he also has some tutorials posted about how to do that. So, RussellBrown.com. Russell works for Adobe. He's actually the person that introduced the makers, the original programmers at Photoshop, to the company called Adobe. So he's been there for a long time. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's move on. Okay. Now, one of the other days, I had mentioned that the histogram in Lightroom won't properly show you when you have an effect known as saturation clipping. And that sounds technical and everything. All it means is it wouldn't show you in a histogram if you're starting to lose detail in the most saturated areas of your picture. And I was corrected on that by Michael Tapes, the guy who makes the YVAL card, because I wasn't aware of one little way you could use soft proofing to get what I would want. And so I would like to briefly mention that so that I make sure we've covered it. So here I have an image that has a lot of colors in it, just vivid ones. And what I can do is, if I'm in the Develop module, at the bottom of my screen, I can find a checkbox called Soft Proofing. It's only there when you're in the Develop module, though, not when you're in the other ones. And if you don't find it shown there, then what you need to do is go to the right edge of this gray bar that's at the bottom of your screen and click on the triangle that's there. One of the choices there is soft proofing, because you can control what shows up in there, and it might just be turned off. If, on the other hand, this bar isn't there at all, just not showing up, that's known as the toolbar, and you can toggle its visibility by typing the letter T. So if the bar isn't there at all, type T to get it. And if that checkbox isn't there, go to the little arrow, choose soft proofing. Okay? Because I know a lot of people have Lightroom configured in various ways. That way, hopefully, everybody will be able to find a feature. And if you still don't find that feature, you're probably working in an older version of Lightroom, and you need to update it to the newest. Okay? When I turn soft proofing on, watch what happens on the right side of my screen just below the histogram. You see some extra information show up? Those are the settings related to soft proofing. The other thing that it did is it changed the background around the picture. What it's trying to do is simulate the color of the paper you might print on. It's thinking you might want to see it surrounded by what you would see it when you print it. You can change the color of this backdrop if you